My colleague Ashutosh continues to be live with us from Mandvi in Kutch district of Gujarat. The maximum impact of this, especially on livelihood, is to be felt by the fishermen community. Ashutosh, I was just reading a report of those who have their boats beached at the Jakhau Port and are quite worried about the impact that the cyclone will leave on their boats. They're worried about their livelihood. Obviously, they want to venture out and bring those boats out, but the administration has put them up in shelters already and said they cannot venture into sea, and rightly so, but they're worried.
Absolutely, and not just only Jakhau, but this entire region which is dominated by the fishermen community. In fact, yesterday, just across the other side of this creek of Mandvi Port, I was there, and that's also you see the huge number of the boats which are parked and anchored in the safe zone. Of course, that's the other side of the creek, and where potentially will not be much impact of the high tide, but the way we are seeing the rough ocean, if the high tide and the height of this waves are literally rising, that will potentially cause a huge damage to those boats of the fishermen community. So that's indeed a bringing challenge, because they are not just worried about now. This cyclone will pass potentially in less than 24 hours. But the next concern is growing that after this get back to normalcy, what will be about their survival, their livelihood, because this fishermen, the one and only source of income that they have. So that is also going to be a huge challenge for the administration to bring back the city to normalcy, to the coastal line, and also ensure the smooth business, because remember, everything has gone for a halt now, including transportation or everything. So from basics to basic essential needs to their livelihood, that will be really a very challenging job. The fishermen, they were quite adamant. They were so reluctant, were not even leaving house. It was very difficult for them to convince, because remember, this is, the depth, the relationship that the fishermen have with this ocean. There's a different bonding, and it's a natural bonding. So they believe that we are a good swimmer. Why should we leave? We will be safe. It was hard for the administration to convince them and their family member that this is not a flood-like situation, and this is not an ordinary situation. This is extra severe cyclonic storm that will hit the coastal line. And remember, tell me one very interesting fact about the Kutch and the people of this Kutch, which is always said that whenever there is every time cyclonic situation developing or a flood or any such natural devastation, it is the people of Kutch from east to west who are sent to the rest part of Gujarat for the rescue, relief, and carry out other operations with the civil defense volunteers, with other authorities. And this time, the first time when the Kutch, and of course more than 2 decades now, when this part of Kutch is affected, and as far as Mandvi is concerned, this was never affected by such a devastation or such disaster or calamity. So this time it is affected. It is hard for the people to believe that Mandvi, which was believed to be one of the safest place from such natural disaster, is also going to be gripped by severe cyclonic situation when the alarm level is raised up to 10. Which is the last one, where that's where you potentially expect that there will be literally havoc in the region. So now, of course, the people are afraid. There is sense of apprehension. There are multiple concerns from now survival to even the livelihood. That is, we'll have to see how the government brings everything to ensure there is no loss of life, there is no loss of public properties, and of course to bring the life to restoring to the normalcy and ensuring
absolutely
the livelihood goes on.
Administration's work, of course, is not over as of yet. This is just half the work done. They have to, of course, rebuild lives after the cyclone makes landfall, which is already anticipated to devastate the coastal areas, at least within the 2 to 3 kilometer radius from the seafront. Brijesh Doshi is also joining us live from Devbhumi Dwarka. Brijesh, if you can bring us up to speed as to what are the weather conditions right now, where you are at the moment, and how has the administration prepared itself?
See, follow me. I am right now at Dwarka beach, and the weather condition is very rough right now. I would ask my cameraman to show you the visuals of the rough sea currently. There is a high current in the sea, and the tides are high. The sea is very much rough from yesterday. I am reporting from the same location from last 3 days. And there is the intensity is increasing day by day, and right now the wind speed is almost around 70 to 80 kilometers per hour from last night. So it's very difficult to stay here or stand here in front of the sea right now. So also the local authorities have asked all media persons to move away from the sea because of the roughness of the sea right now. So all media people are just going away from the sea area. So this is the situation right now. Here the wind is the wind speed is increasing at this moment, and when the cyclone will come more closer, so it will affect very severely here. So all the administrative part has been done here. All the precautions have been taken. Now all are praying that cyclone must not hit Kutch Jakhau Port, otherwise it will damage severely.
Okay. Brijesh, thank you so much for joining us with all of those details. But Brijesh, of course, continues to be live with us. We're getting our reporters, in fact, from across the coastline who are standing by and bringing us some very crucial ground reports as Cyclone Biparjoy is expected to make landfall at 3 p.m. this afternoon. Brijesh, you of course were telling us about how the sea is extremely rough. In terms of the evacuation process, Brijesh, what has the administration done so far in terms of preparing themselves in terms of evacuating? Because we believe from along the whole Gujarat coastline, at least about 74,000 people have been evacuated, especially from the Saurashtra and Kutch regions.
Definitely, Paulomi, most of the there are 8 most affected areas because of the cyclone. 34,000 people have been evacuated from the Kutch district only. 5,000 from Dwarka, 10,000 from Jamnagar and Kutch and Morbi. So approximately around 74,000 people have been evacuated because of the intensity of the cyclone and the severity of the cyclonic storm. So government has evacuated all the low-lying areas from last couple of days. They are staying in the sheltered homes, and government has given the advisory to them to not to return to their home before 16th of June. So still for 24 to 48 hours they will be in the sheltered houses. Gujarat CM Bhupendra Patel has also reviewed the meeting just a while ago at Gandhinagar Emergency Center. So all kind of meetings are going on. Everything is been taken care, but now the second operation is that rescue operation. How government will do the rescue operation once the cyclone will hit the Kutch. So that is the now the second part is going on. Evacuation has been done. Indian Army, Indian Navy and the Coast Guard on the standby mode. Almost around 10 ships are at Jakhau Port, and 7 rescue helicopters are there. So Indian Coast Guard is also on the alert mode. Once the cyclone will hit, they will start the rescue operations if needed.
Okay, Brijesh, stay on with us. Ashutosh Mishra is also joining us live from Mandvi. He is also reporting from on the ground. Ashutosh, again, we do know that the Chief Minister himself is at the State Emergency Response Office in Gandhinagar right now, closely monitoring the situation. As far as the district administration is concerned, they're also on the ground. We believe that the Home Minister of the state is in Devbhumi Dwarka. As far as the administration is concerned, what sort of warning signs have they in fact left for the people so that they adhere to all the rules and do not venture out into the seas?
जहां मैं खड़ा था, यहाँ ये लगभग तटीय इलाका है, ये क्रीक है, दरिया का पानी यहाँ से होकर गुजरता है, यहाँ नाव खड़ी होती है और यहाँ काफी कुछ देखने के लिए होता है, लेकिन अब यहाँ सब कुछ इनविजिबल है और ऊपर से पानी जो है इस क्रीक में इसका करंट है वो बहुत ज्यादा है। 5-10 मिनट पहले ही ये शुरू हुआ और ऐसा लगा जैसे किसी ने धक्का दे दिया, लोग खड़े और पूरी ताकत से कोई आपको धकेल रहा है। इस हवा के सामने इंसान का भी खड़ा रहना मुश्किल है। आप ये समझ सकते हैं कि जब इसकी रफ्तार 130-140 किलोमीटर प्रति घंटे के हिसाब से आगे बढ़ेगी तो स्थिति क्या होगी। अभी तो सिर्फ समझिए कि 3 बजने में काफी समय है, उसके पहले जो शुरुआत हुई है, अगर वो इतनी भीषण है तो जब ये लैंडफॉल होगा, ये तूफान इस इलाके से गुजरेगा तो अपने साथ किस तरह का प्रकोप लेकर के आएगा। ये जो तस्वीरें देखने वो बेहद भयावह है और इसी के लिए आप समझिए कि सरकार की ओर से, प्रशासन की ओर से वो तैयारियां की गई थी। बरसात की थपेड़ी ये जो बूंदें गिर रही हैं, ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे पीठ पर कोई हंटर मार रहा हो। ये मोटी जैकेट के बाद भी ये हवा जो है, ये जो इसके साथ जो बूंदें आ रही हैं वो चोट पहुंचा रही है।